Anyway. Now at 4, 2 big weather stories to cover. Afternoon storms are moving into central Florida, and we are monitoring a tropical wave in the tropics.
Plus, months after a mother's body is found, family members have now filed a lawsuit in her death. Who they are placing the blame on.
And back to the drawing board. Local teachers shoot down a potential contract. What the teachers union is asking for now.
Local, live, late-breaking. WESH 2 News starts now.
And off the top at 4, 2 big weather stories to talk about tonight. First, our radar is getting active this afternoon, and we are continuing to monitor a tropical system in the Caribbean. Scattered afternoon storms are popping up in central Florida. Here is a live look of downtown Orlando, where you can see the clouds just kind of lurking around. Pretty dark out there.
And we're in the thick of hurricane season, keeping an eye on this tropical wave. First Alert Chief Meteorologist Tony Manalfi is here now to break down both of these weather stories. So, Tony, what are the chances of this wave developing?
Well, the chances of that wave developing right now, for me, are very, very low. We'll have to watch it. It's going to be a big rain producer tonight and tomorrow through Hispaniola. And speaking of rain, back home here locally, as we focus here on central Florida right now, we've had a lot of lightning in Brevard County and a lot of wind. That's now transitioning into northeastern rural Osceola County. You can see.
The family of a woman brutally raped and murdered is now filing a lawsuit against the apartment complex where she lived.
You may remember Tashawn Jackson was reported missing in Cocoa, and her body later found in Osceola County. A man has now been charged in her murder, but as WESH 2's Michelle Meredith found out, Jackson's family says her apartment complex missed warning signs.
Honestly, it's been torture.
Just into the newsroom, the U.S. women's national soccer team coach Jill Ellis is stepping down. Ellis has been the coach of the team since 2014, leading it to back-to-back World Cup titles. Her contract was set to expire after the World Cup in France, with a mutual option to extend it through the 2020 Tokyo Olympics. She will remain with the team for World Cup Victory Tour, which kicks off Saturday with a match against Ireland at the Rose Bowl. The results are in.
The latest local water sample causing concern for some neighbors.
And a triple murder suspect in tears. What caused Grant Amato to break down in the middle of a courtroom?
But first, a local man accused of molesting a child, while detectives fear there could be more victims. Breaking news this morning.
Breaking news this evening. Every day, news happens right here in the cities, the suburbs, and neighborhoods we call home.
Live in Orange County.
Brevard County.
Osceola County.
In Lake
We're
County.
live in Volusia County.
Every day, we seek the news, get answers, reveal the truth. Every day, we search for the sunshine, chase storms, help plan your day. Sunrise is live. We are live. Every day, stories live to be told. We're here to tell them. WESH 2 News. Local, live, late breaking. Stay connected with WESH 2 by liking us on Facebook.
I'm Gary Bosses, General Sales Manager at Orlando Dodge. The WESH 2 Skycam Network is sponsored by Orlando Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in the heart of downtown Orlando on West Colonial Drive, or find your new ride online at orlandododge.com.
Closed captioning is sponsored by Hand and Stone Massage and Facial Spa.
Right now, a local man is behind bars accused of committing a sex act on a child.
Jeffrey Cobb is facing serious charges. WESH 2's Stuart Moore joins us now in the studio with more on his arrest.
Summer Meredith and Jeffrey Cobb is sitting in jail on charges of lewd and lascivious molestation and has no bond right now because of these accusations. Take a closer look at him. He is accused of touching a child under the age of 16. The alleged victim is someone detectives say that he knows, and they fear more victims may also be out there. The Volusia County Sheriff's detectives were alerted by the victim's mother over the weekend, saying that Cobb had been touching her since November of last year. The latest incident happened just 2 weeks ago. Cobb works as an overnight security guard at the DeBerry Golf and Country Club. Detectives say they are also investigating 2 other cases in which young women reported similar incidents involving him. More charges could also be added.
All right, weather-wise, Tony, we've been seeing some showers pop up, but it looks like the sun's trying to push through, at least in some areas.
In here, because you're looking outside, you can see outside right here. So, yeah, you're absolutely right. In town, we're in good shape. Not the case, however, to the west of Orlando and even in pockets east of Orlando. Right now, down at the airport, 78 degrees. Wind is out of the east. Rain, cool thunderstorm coming on through there a short time ago. But I tell you what, about half hour, 45 minutes ago, we had a ton of lightning strikes here into central and northern Brevard County. That is on the wane. Now we're seeing an uptick in showers and storms back towards the west and right here into northeastern Osceola County. From Harmony back towards St. Cloud, some pretty good showers and storms here.
Brand new body cam video just released shows the moments after an officer shot a man inside his own home.
Why the homeowner's attorney says claims police are making are false.
And she's accused of hacking into hundreds of millions of customers' bank accounts. How agents were able to identify her. But first,
all of the kids know that she is definitely allergic to bananas. If it touches her, she will go into anaphylactic.
A cruel prank nearly turns deadly. The sentence handed down to 3 young students accused of nearly killing their teacher.
Closed captioning is sponsored by your local Toyota dealer. Visit today.
Police in South Carolina released body camera video showing the moments before an officer shot a man inside of his own home.
Yeah, the incident happened last month, but the body cam video was just released.
Call the ambulance, please. All right, where's the gun? Where's the gun? All right, don't move it. Are you the only one here? What's wrong with you, man?
Video shows the officer outside a home where they received a medical call. The officer looks around and says he sees a man with a gun in the home. The officer shot into the home from the outside, hitting the homeowner. The homeowner's attorney says the officer initially claimed the man opened the door with a gun in his hand, but says video shows that is not the case. The man is recovering now at home.
They could have killed their teacher. That's the message Ohio law enforcement sent to 3 middle school students who used bananas to make her have an allergic reaction.
So she starts to change colors. They gave her one EpiPen, it wasn't working. They gave her another EpiPen. Her throat was starting to close up.
The incident happened in November, but Columbus police just released video of their response. School officials say that the kids smeared banana on her doorknob. Then they started throwing them at her while she was inside her classroom. One of the bananas hit her, sending her into shock in less than 15 minutes. All of the students involved were sent to probation. It's unclear, though, why the students did this in the first place.
Wow. All right, the infamous no call from January's NFC Championship game is back in the headlines. NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell and 3 other officials are ordered to answer questions about the game between the Los Angeles Rams and the New Orleans Saints. A lawyer sued over the infamous play where LA's nickel Robbie Coleman appeared to interfere with Tommy Lee Lewis of the Saints. The play was never flagged, and the Rams would go on to win the game and eventually the Super Bowl. That lawyer is asking for $75,000 in damages, which could be donated to charity.
It is a big move for our country's nuclear industry,
where Lockheed Martin is moving the Navy missile program's headquarters.
Plus, 10 out of 20 Democratic presidential candidates take the stage tonight for the second presidential debate. A look at what's expected to dominate the event.
But first, the local man accused of killing 3 of his family members breaks down in court the testimony that had him in tears. Next.
WESH 2 traffic is driven by Toyota of Orlando and Toyota of Claremont.
WESH 2 News continues.
Now at 4:30, today's testimony was apparently too much for triple murder suspect Grant Amato.
Yeah, he was in tears today as one of the witnesses in his trial took the stand.
WESH 2's Dave McDaniel has been on this case since the beginning and joins us live from the courthouse.
And the latest developments from here at the courthouse is that within the last few minutes, the state has rested its case against Grant Amato. The defense asked for a judgment of acquittal, telling the judge they did not believe that the state had presented enough evidence for this case to continue. That was a motion that the judge denied. But earlier today, during the testimony from the medical examiner, there was a visible reaction from Grant Amato.
Coming up all new at 6, you've probably seen memes like this one on social media and probably given them a like.
But even though you may agree, it turns out you're the one in the wrong and actually making traffic worse.
We have to get out of that mentality if we want this traffic to move, especially in areas that are merging.
What you can start doing during your next drive that'll not only keep the roads safer, but reduce traffic and get you to your destination even faster. That's tonight on WESH 2 News at 6.
All right, she might have gotten away with the massive data breach if it wasn't for one simple thing.
How agents tracked down a suspected hacker who's accused of stealing the information of 106 million customers.
Plus, we are in the dead heat of Florida's summer. The new device one tech company has created to keep you cool when you're on the go.
Three words, the most accurate. And only one Central Florida weather team can claim it. That's right, WESH 2 First Alert Weather. Most accurate, now for 12 years straight. Certified, verified, undenied. Who else can say that? No one. Because accuracy matters. Rely on Tony, Amy, and the WESH 2 First Alert Weather Team. Local, live, late-breaking. Breaking news alerts, live newscasts, and interactive radar. Download the WESH 2 News app today.
Fans of the legendary sitcom Friends will have a chance to go all in to celebrate the 25th anniversary of the comedy's debut.
Warner Brothers is setting up a pop-up entertainment experience in Manhattan's Soho district. Fans will be able to explore the show through set recreations, props, and costumes. It'll cost $29 to visit. Tickets go on sale August 2nd. A Phoenix man has had it with people not picking up after their pets.
So he's come up with an interesting message for the owners on sidewalks.
I just started circling the poop on the sidewalk. It just turned into a thing where my neighbors really enjoyed poo murals that I was coming up with.
Well, Carl started writing chalk messages on sidewalks. It's all part of what he calls not his crusade, but his poosade. The city says it cannot do anything about dog waste left on the sidewalk. It only has an ordinance addressing trash and debris on private property. This is why Carl is making it his duty to address the duty.
I'm not even mad at your dog. It just wants what we all want, to wake up healthy and have a poop. I'm mad at you, the owner, for not cleaning it up. Good dog, bad owner. Be better.
You tell him, Carl. He's hoping dog owners will make use of the scoop after hearing the story, and as they should.
I wonder if it's going to work, though.
I hope it does. He's very creative. WESH News at 5 is straight ahead.
Stuart Moore joins us now with what's coming up in the next hour. Stu?
My takeaway from that story, thank God we have grass here in Florida, too. Hey, two teenage girls competing for the affection of a boy, that's not uncommon. What is uncommon? A mom then cyber-stalking the romantic rival. At 5, we're inside the courtroom as a local mom faces charges for allegedly threatening to kill the other teenage girl. Plus, there's been a string of shootings across the Orlando area. Tonight, the police department is addressing the concerns of neighbors who are fed up with the violence. And beginning school without a contract, Orange County teachers are expected to show up to tonight's school board meeting demanding a raise. We'll explain what happens if a deal is not reached before classes start at 5.
Closed captioning sponsored by Morgan & Morgan. Dial #law on your cell phone. Matter of Fact with Soledad O'Brien, Sundays at 10 a.m. on WESH 2. Sponsored locally by Lexus. Experience amazing.
Off the top at 5, a mother's support goes way too far. What led police to this local mom who's now sitting in jail?
Just a couple of weeks until school starts, but some local teachers are still fighting over their contracts. What they are hoping comes out of new negotiations.
And what's the deal with this wave? The chances this disturbance could develop into something more.
Local, live, late-breaking. WESH 2 News starts now.
On top tonight, a few showers and downpours are popping up over Central Florida right now, just in time for your ride home. We're also keeping our eyes on the tropical wave that keeps moving towards Florida, but it's not certain this will develop into anything major.
First Alert Chief Meteorologist Tony Manalfi is, of course, monitoring all of it for us. So, Tony, first things first, how much longer does tonight's rain stick around?
Well, it depends on where you are. If you're west of Orlando, it's going to stick around a little while longer. It's already beginning to fall apart there on the eastern side of the peninsula, back towards New Smyrna Beach. Now, we head to the tropics, and what we're going to be monitoring over the next couple of days is Invest 95. Going to come over Hispaniola, likely not to survive it, but as it comes back over the Bahamas, the waters are warmer. At the very least, what it's going to do is enhance our rainfall chances beginning late Friday on into the weekend. I'll talk more about that, guys, straight ahead.
All right, Tony, right now we are following some breaking news out of Volusia County where the sheriff's office is looking for a woman who says she's been shot somewhere in Tiger Bay State Forest. Now, here's the deal. She called 911 just before 4 o'clock saying she had been shot, but so far rescuers have not been able to find her. We'll continue monitoring this breaking news, and as soon as we learn more, we'll pass it on to you on air and online at WESH.com. A Palm Bay mother is in jail for cyber stalking, and police say the victim is her daughter's 14-year-old friend.
WESH News' Dan Bello reports the mom is accused of making death threats in a teenage clash over a boyfriend.
Megan Workman.
Shopping at the Altamont Springs Mall was interrupted today thanks to an electrical issue. The entire mall was evacuated for a short time this afternoon. Seminole County fire crews pinpointed the problem to the Foot Locker store where they say there was an electrical issue there. That issue was fixed pretty quickly and everyone was let back inside. All right, UCF is preparing to kick things off on the 2019 football season, and the Knights are hoping to continue their winning ways.
25-1 over the last couple of seasons. Better record than any club in the country not named Clemson. Pat Clark, Knights are turning winning into a culture, my friend.
They are that. In a perfect world, we'd be standing here talking today about how UCF is carrying a 26-game winning streak into a new season, how the Knights are the talk of the country because of that streak, and how they are expected to maintain dominance this autumn. Fact is, the Knights may have lost to LSU in the Fiesta Bowl, but they remain very much in the national conversation and are again expected to be dominant this year. Media Day activities at the stadium this morning. Josh Heupel and minus quarterbacks, a handful of talented, well-spoken, motivated athletes who became even more ripped in off-season workouts, intent on beginning a new streak when the season begins August 29th against Florida A&M.
We're excited about the season. I really believe this is maybe the funnest part of the year. Training camp, your kids are with you from early morning. You don't have any class. There's no distractions. They're with you until you release them late in the evening, and they put their heads down on the pillow. Your coaches race home, do the same thing, and then you get a chance to wake up and do it all over again. It's just a unique part of the journey where you're with each other every day.
Injury attrition for the Knights, Mackenzie Milton and Darryl Mack specifically, now means that whomever the starter is on the 29th, that player will be taking his first ever snap at UCF. And we'll have more on that very subject when we see you at 6 o'clock. Guys, back to you.
All right, Pat, thank you. A local man on trial accused of killing 3 members of his family.
Still had the evidence prosecutors say proves he staged it to look like he was innocent. Plus,
and like right when my left hand hit the water, a shark just came up.
A second shark bite in as many days at a local beach. All right, this teen says it's not going to stop him from getting back out there.
And just 2 weeks until school, but contracts for some local teachers are still up in the air. How close they are to a solution. Next.
And if you don't have it yet, download our WESH 2 News app. You can use it to track rain and storms anytime, anywhere, including the tropics. You can even get alerts for your neighborhood sent directly to your phone.
All right, let's state the obvious. Central Florida traffic, it's just bad. But now, the good. Introducing WESH 2 First Alert Traffic with Jacqueline D'Agostino. Getting you through jams like only a Central Florida native can.
Brand new accident on the are dealing with some very heavy traffic. Expect some congestion right around.
Jacqueline D'Agostino and First Alert Traffic. Only on WESH 2.
Get First Alert Traffic on the go with the free WESH 2 app.
See, your commute did just get better.
It is back to the drawing board for the Orange County School District. Last night, teachers rejected their contract offer.
Yeah, in just a few minutes, the district budget committee meets and teachers plan to be there in force. WESH 2's Amanda Dukes joins us from outside the meeting with what they are hoping for. Amanda.
Yeah, that budget meeting kicks off here at 5:30, and teachers were trying to rally the troops to show up wearing red and show their support for a pay raise. The teachers union says the district has got to come up with extra money for pay raises and lower health care premiums. In a vote Monday, for the first time, Orange County teachers rejected a proposed contract.
Well, I feel ecstatic
about it.
Mark Nolan has taught in Orange County for almost 30 years. He says the proposed contract's steep hike in family health insurance costs would have meant some teachers would get smaller paychecks than last year.
When you have teachers that are living from check to check, working extra jobs, they can't take another hit like that.
The Orange County School District and the teachers will now go back to the bargaining table. The union wants the district to use some of its reserves to offset the rise in health care costs.
Orange County Public Schools has a very high reserve compared to other districts in the state, and that money could be used as a one-time expense to pay the deficit for insurance so it's not passed on.
But the school district has questioned the wisdom of dipping into reserve funds and also suggested its policies may not allow it. In regards to the union's rejection of the contract, the district sent WESH 2 News a statement that said, the bargaining teams will meet again to propose solutions using the available funds. These funds will need to cover proposed salary increases that meet state requirements, as well as any increases in the cost of employee health benefits paid for by the district. Now, it is expected that teachers are going to start the school year without a contract. That's actually not unusual. Now, as for whether teachers here would ever strike, the union president said it's illegal in Florida and they would risk losing their jobs and their pensions. She does not see that happening, but they do plan to send some buses of teachers to Tallahassee for the next legislative session. Live in Orange County, Amanda Dukes, WESH 2 News.
Take a pause in headlines and talk about your forecast now with Chief Meteorologist Tony Manolfi. A couple of those skies out there, Tony, getting a little dark.
Yeah, you're pointing your eyes over my right shoulder because you're looking at Marion County. Let's head up to Ocala and show you some of those dark skies out there right now. We had our rain here in Orlando. Now it's kind of venturing back towards the west. Wish we had our Tavares camera up and running today, but we've got that one down. So we're going to head over towards Ocala. It's 88 degrees, waiting on the showers and the storms. Skies are threatening here. You can see the sea breeze is now moving inland, and earlier today the focus was right here. That is now weakening rapidly, but we're seeing the uptick in the number of lightning storms off to our west. There's the turnpike through Osceola County looking good. Downtown is pretty good. Couple light showers east Orlando. So the main attraction, the main events here, big time lightning here through southern and central Lake County. Biggest cluster of storms though, Leesburg back up towards the villages. This is an area where you want to stay away from those windows right now. There and right here on into Claremont, South Claremont, in and around the Bay Lake area, Groveland. Pretty good showers and thunderstorms here. And then a nice long line of enhanced rainfall here going from the Turnpike, Okahumpka, right through the villages on into Bellevue now, Waresdale, and there's been a pretty decent hail core with these thunderstorms at one point closing in on 2-inch hailstones aloft. Now it seems to be kind of pulsing back down, but something that we're going to be watching. If you've got any photos out that way, we'd love to see them. Share them to our Facebook page, and we'll get those on the air later on. You can see a Futurecast here. Pretty quiet out there right now. Going through the evening hours, things wind down very quickly once we get past sunset. Storms again off to the west, downtown. The rain is over with. Rain will be ending west as we get you into mid-evening. Overnight tonight, pretty quiet, pretty humid, pretty muggy, typical for us for this time of the year. Then we'll do it all over again tomorrow. Late day showers and thunderstorms with a push back towards the western side of the peninsula. Beach day tomorrow looking good. Afternoon highs here right around 90. You work your way inland anywhere from about 92, 95, maybe even 96 degrees on into Winter Haven. Thursday, pretty similar to today and tomorrow. Coverage still quite low, but notice the moisture down to the south. That's in association with a tropical wave that starts coming northward here. We think during late day Friday, that's going to enhance the rainfall here. That in association with Invest 95. Again, not expected to really do anything. It's going to be moving over Hispaniola. If you're familiar with the terrain and topography down there, there are some mountains there over 10,000 feet. That's usually the graveyard of any tropical feature that comes over them. Not to say that it can't get out over here again and maybe get a little bit more organization, but the way we're seeing it right now is that it's going to be more of a rainmaker than anything else. Here's the center of that broad, weak circulation there, just west of San Juan, moving off to the west-northwest. Now, the model trends today interestingly enough, are farther to the west and then curve around. If that scenario were to happen, that could put a wrinkle in the whole forecast. But what I think is going to happen, it's going to be steered west-northwest around this high. As that trough of low pressure builds back to the east, it'll pull this one up to our north and then curve it back towards the eastern side of the Florida Peninsula sometime late this weekend. And that is when our rain chances are going to be quite high. Late Friday, Saturday, on into Sunday. Notice those high temperatures there, only in the 80s, but getting back to normal by Monday and Tuesday of next week.
Tony, thank you. We are continuing to follow breaking news out of Volusia County.
Yeah, Chopper 2 is live over Tiger Bay State Forest, where deputies are looking for a woman who says she had been shot. We're told she called for help around 4 o'clock, and right now they are still trying to find her.
And she's 79 and thought she was doing a nice thing, but that might cost her 10 days in jail. That's next on WESH News at 5.
Here's today's live view from Clearwater Beach, TripAdvisor's #1 beach in the U.S., just 90 miles west of Orlando. Plan your trip at beachesoforlando.com.
A cat controversy has led to a 79-year-old Ohio woman getting jail time.
Yeah, she's been sentenced to 10 days for feeding strays. Nancy Segula says her neighbor moved away and left a couple of cats behind. When they started showing up on her back porch, she decided to feed them. But her other neighbors were not happy about it, so they called animal control. And it is illegal to feed strays in her town, but Nancy feels the punishment just does not fit the crime.
That it's too much of a sentence for me for what I'm doing when there are so many other people out there that do so many bad things.
Nancy is supposed to report to jail August 11th. A New Jersey couple made a snap decision that they hope will change lives.
I really like this story. They say they got inspired after walking by a Payless shoe store. The company's closing all of its stores for good. When the couple saw that, they decided to buy everything that was left. That's 247 pairs of shoes. They'll all be donated to a local shelter.
We were put in this position at the right time in the right place, and we had this opportunity to help, and we just split second, eye to eye. We agreed to do it, and I just felt really proud to do it.
The couple hopes that their kind gesture will inspire others who hear their story. A dog gets loose and a neighbor gets upset.
Almost 2 years later, that neighbor's been sentenced. How he's being punished after throwing a firework at the dog.
A man accused of killing his parents and brother gets emotional in court. What was said in court that brought that suspect to tears?
And after years in a shelter, this man has his own place now. How he worked up to this with a little help from the Salvation Army. Watch.
WESH 2 traffic is driven by Toyota of Orlando and Toyota of Claremont.
WESH 2 News continues.
The state has rested. The defense has started calling witnesses now in the murder trial of Grant Amato. State testimony from the medical examiner brought a clear reaction from Amato himself.
As he saw the photos of his deceased family members, WESH News' Dave McDaniel looks at today's testimony from court.
This Volusia County man pleaded no contest to seriously injuring a dog after throwing a firecracker at the animal. Now Madison Carroll is heading to jail for animal cruelty. WESH 2's Claire Metz is live, and she was there for his emotional sentencing hearing. Claire?
Yeah, the dog is almost 8 years old, a just under 12-pound Chihuahua Dachshund mix. Though a vet saved his leg, the dog lost the bulk of his paw, had broken bones. However, his owners tell us today they are satisfied.
Staying on top of that breaking news out of Volusia County, the sheriff's office is looking for a woman who says that she has been shot. This is somewhere in, I should say, she is somewhere in the Tiger Bay State Forest. She called 911 just before 4, saying that she had been shot, but so far rescuers have not been able to find her. We're going to continue to monitor the breaking news, and as soon as we learn more information, we'll pass it along to you.
It's a Tallahassee job that seems to have a revolving door. The search is on for the state's third top financial regulator in just over a year. The Financial Regulation Commissioner oversees an agency with an operating budget of about $41 million and nearly 360 employees. The job opened up last week when Governor DeSantis fired Ronald Rubin, who is now facing sexual harassment allegations. He got the job back in February. Now, the governor says the cabinet will do better background checks on finalists before making a hire.
We did make an effort to try to find some people. The problem is like it's hard to get someone to come from like New York or Chicago, to Florida. So we, I personally wasn't successful in getting some folks to apply that I thought would have been really good.
Desperately trying to get the woman out.
The job pays $166,000 a year.
20 Democratic presidential candidates are gathered in Detroit for the second round of 2020 debates. Half of them will speak to the American people tonight and may take shots at the president. WESH News' Jim Payne is here with more on why Michigan is so important for 2020.
In 2016, Donald Trump became the first Republican presidential candidate to take the state of Michigan since 1988. Tonight is extremely important for the candidates to try to build support because they will need it to survive and advance. 10 candidates will take the stage tonight for night one of the debates in the Motor City. Massachusetts Senator Elizabeth Warren will split center stage with Vermont's Bernie Sanders, both trailing frontrunner Joe Biden in the latest polls.
I've got a chance to get out there and talk about the plans.
The future of America depends on young people. They are voting in large numbers, but not large enough numbers.
The great state of Michigan.
In 2008, Barack Obama took the state with just more than 16% of the vote. Polling and fundraising thresholds to qualify for the next matchup in September will soon double. Back to you, Summer.
Coming up next, the shark bite capital of the world is right here in Central Florida.
And we are hearing from the latest victim, what he saw before even getting into the water. Tony?
And right now we're watching a lot of lightning here into southern Marion County, northern Sumter County, northwest Lake County, from the Villages to Waresdale to Bellevue. Coming up over the next couple minutes, we're going to go county by county, let you know how long these storms are going to stick around and how long the high temperatures will last this week. You're watching WESH 2 News at 5.
Next at 6, making your commute faster. It may seem like common sense, but many drivers just don't do it. How taking turns could ease tensions and backups on the roads. Next at 6.
New Smyrna Beach living up to its name of the shark bite capital. Yesterday's bite marked the 6th in that area for the year, and tonight we're hearing from the surfer who was bitten.
As WESH 2's Adrian Whitsett explains, that man is lucky his injuries were not worse. All right, you may want to rethink ordering delivery after you hear this story. A new study shows 1 in 4 drivers hired by delivery apps like Uber Eats and Grubhub admitted sneaking a bite out of meals. 54% of those drivers also said they've been tempted because the food smells so good. Some customers now want restaurants to use packaging that would show proof if a driver tries to sneak a taste. That's probably a good idea.
That's not nice.
All right, Tony, thank you. They come in all shapes, sizes, and characters. Jumbo floaties are filling bodies of water everywhere.
But the inflatables are causing some trouble, too. Why officials are warning people to be careful before hitting the water. Man from Nebraska proved that diamonds can be anybody's best friend. Josh Lanick was visiting Arkansas's Crater of Diamonds State Park when he dug up this beauty. He had been searching for 2 hours, eventually finding the 2.12 carat brandy-colored diamond. There we go. The park allows visitors to keep the diamonds that they find there. Asked what he plans to do with it, Lanick says he's just going to hold on to it for now. A popular toy has many water safety experts saying you might just want to leave it at home.
Yeah, they're warning people about the use of large inflatables in open water. You've seen them before, the big unicorns or swans. Well, officials say 1 gust of wind can turn that inflatable into a sail, sending users far away from the shore. The Coast Guard says it's already had many calls to rescue people, especially children who get stranded on that float. So something to keep in mind. WESH News at 6 is straight ahead.
Meredith McDonough joins us now. Is coming up in our next half hour.
Yeah, guys, we are tracking the tropics, paying close attention to a tropical wave and also storms here at home. Tony has your forecast. Then the granddaughter of Bethune-Cookman University's founder is sentenced today after pleading no contest to fraud and grand theft charges. And have you heard of a zipper merge? Well, it's a new approach to merging and keeping you safe. Michelle Meredith has this special report. Next on WESH 2 News at 6.
Local, live, late breaking. WESH 2 News starts now.
First at 6, we are watching the radar and tracking some storms moving across parts of Central Florida. Good evening. I'm Meredith McDonough.
I'm Jim Payne. We're also keeping an eye on this. This is Invest 95 in the Eastern Caribbean. Chief Meteorologist Tony Benalfi is tracking it also. Tony, let's start with the rain right here at home.
You know, so the bigger storm, as you guys just showed us up there, up in Ocala, and I think we might have that cam up that way, but you can see we do have some pretty good showers and some thunderstorms. A lot of lightning now on the southeast side of Ocala. Elsewhere, as you can see, things are winding down. So Ocala, we're going to be watching you up towards the square there as we continue to watch that here over the next half hour. So appreciate you guys dropping that in.
Happening now, the search is on for a man who deputies say was shot in Volusia County. Deputies are searching for that person in the Tiger Bay State Forest west of Daytona Beach. We don't know the condition of the victim or what led to the shooting, and so far, no one has been arrested. Right now, Orange County public school teachers and their union are taking their concerns about pay and benefits straight to school board members. This comes as teachers rejected a contract proposal last night.
WESH's Gail Pascal-Brown is live at district headquarters with the details. Gail?
Well, it will be back to the bargaining table after the rejection of that contract for the 2019-20 school year for teachers. That's the first time ever that a contract has been rejected. Now, the vote went down last night. 3,843 against the contract, 1,017 voted for it. At issue with the proposed contract is its steep hike in family health insurance costs. The raise plus insurance costs would have meant a deficit for some teachers, as much as a $500 deficit. That's a pay cut for employees. Tonight, teachers, as well as the union leader, will speak to the OCPS school board members in hopes of ironing out anew. Now, we did speak with Matthew Hazel, a teacher at Freedom High School, a member of the Classroom Teachers Association board, as well as a member of the bargaining table.
Our members do not want to see a health insurance increase, and our members want to see a bigger salary increase, and the board has to hear them.
How are you going to convince them, and what can be used to try to, meet you guys and gals where you need to be?
Well, the board is honestly in a tough spot because a lot of this funding stuff comes from Tallahassee, and there's a lot of mandates with charter schools and vouchers and everything else eating up the dollars that should be going to public education. So we're all kind of squeezed by what's going on at the state capitol.
Orlando? Now, the Orange County Classroom Teachers Association, as well as Orange County Public Schools, will now have to return to the bargaining table. I'm told that Classroom Teachers Association has already started talking with some of the leadership here with OCPS to get those negotiations underway. The CTA president, the union president, will speak tonight, and one thing she's going to ask about are reserves, and that's monies that the school could possibly use to try, or the district could possibly use to try to cut down on some of these health benefits, but it's not supposed to be used for reoccurring things like salaries or benefits. We'll see what happens. I'm Gail Pascal-Brown, live in Orlando for WESH 2 News.
Breaking right now, Lake County commissioners have approved moving a controversial statue to Tavares. The statue of Confederate General Edmund Kirby Smith is currently in the U.S. Capitol. It will eventually be replaced by a statue of Mary McLeod Bethune. Despite protests and letters of opposition from multiple Lake County mayors, today the commission approved bringing the Kirby statue to the Historical Museum in Tavares, where it will be put on display.
Some big news today in the world of sports. U.S. national soccer team coach Jill Ellis is stepping down after leading the team to back-to-back Women's World Cup titles. Ellis has been coach of the team since 2014, leading to its World Cup titles in 2015 and then earlier this month. Her contract was set to expire following the World Cup in France, with a mutual option to extend it through the 2020 Tokyo Olympics. Ellis will remain with the team for a World Cup victory tour, which kicks off Saturday with a match against Ireland at the Rose Bowl. U.S. Soccer sent out this tweet after the news saying, "For everything she has done and everything she has meant to this program, we say thank you."
Still ahead, UCF front and center today ahead of the new football season.
And it's a safe way to merge into traffic and avoid road rage. What troopers say is the right way on the road. And a WESH 2 News special report. Tony.
Storms are dying down across central Florida, except right here in Marion County, just east of Ocala. Take a look at the radar. If you're up in Burbank, Anthony, or Spar, you're probably hearing the thunder. I'll let you know how soon this is going to get to your area and how long it'll last. You're watching WESH 2 News at 6.
The day's not done yet, Central Florida is still making news, and we're just getting started. WESH 2 News at 10 on CW18. As the big story breaks, as the video comes in, as the weather changes, you'll end the day knowing what tomorrow will bring.
Developing now at 10.
We are live on the scene.
Showers and storms get going.
Join Stuart, Summer, and Chief Meteorologist Tony Manolfi for WESH 2 News at 10 on CW18.
Closed captioning on CW18 is driven by Toyota of Orlando and Toyota of Claremont.
There are times when you drive on I-4, you feel like you're taking your life into your own hands, especially when you're trying to merge. Just go with the flow.
So to make it easier on all of us, law enforcement is promoting a new approach called the zipper merge. And yes, it works just like a zipper when it's closing.
WESH 2's Michelle Meredith puts it all together for you in this special report.
What consumes the news?
Slowed down traffic.
All lanes were blocked for 3 hours.
Consumes our precious time. Puts us in a foul mood. You got it. Some good old-fashioned traffic congestion. Add a little rain, sprinkle some road rage on top, and you've made the perfect congestion casserole. A little something to nibble on your way home from work. And though it's hard to pick the #1 ingredient, you've got to admit, merging into traffic is right up there. Whether you're trying to get on the interstate or trapped in a lane closed for construction, it brings out the best and the worst in humanity.
It's not the most favorite thing to do around here.
A lot of people don't have, let's say, common courtesy anymore.
Now, we have identified 3 types of mergers on the road. First, the jammer. He zips past fellow motorists, and when his lane ends, jams his car in front of yours, eventually getting in, but leaves you with that someone just cut to the front of the line taste in your mouth.
You have a right to merge over safely. You don't have a right to go all the way up. And just like in kindergarten, there's no cutsies.
Next comes the blocker.
Does the blocker create road rage? The blocker is road rage.
The blocker sees the jammer coming down the road and blocks the lane to keep him from cutting in line.
People have to get out of that mindset that they don't own the space underneath their vehicle. It's a roadway to be shared by all.
And perhaps the most civic-minded merger of them all is the quick thinker, who moves slowly by traffic and merges well before the lane comes to an end.
Oh, I know it's coming. I pay attention and know that it's coming, so I kind of creep into it. I'm not one to just jam in. I don't like that.
So how are we really supposed to merge into traffic? Well, the experts say, do the zipper. That's right. Just like the teeth in your zipper weave together, so can cars. They call it the zipper merge. As traffic comes together, each car takes turns letting one car in, then another car. They say it keeps traffic flowing.
You know, people think zipper merging will never work because people are jerks. Drivers are jerks. If people look at it this way, believe it or not, zipper merging moves traffic quicker because you don't have all the issues with stop traffic, with people blocking, with people going around.
Now, there are some best practices for the zipper merge. Don't race to the front of the line. Use your blinker. Let motorists know your intention.
I think it should be called the common sense method. You know, everybody should take turns. You know, we learned that in kindergarten.
Take turns making merging smarter, not harder. In Orange County, Michelle Meredith, WESH 2 News.
Yeah, add relax to that whole thing. Chill pill.
I know, right? Really. I run into those jammers and blockers every day on I-4. I'm a quick thinker, just so y'all know.
A slow-moving quick thinker, but a quick thinker.
Amen to that.
Yeah.
All right, today we won't use the zipper during the rain up there in Marion County because it's coming down pretty big time here up in just east of Ocala. Skies are threatening there. We're going to be watching this weather cam very carefully. 88 degrees. Quick thinker, Meredith. Love that. And then here's our next tropical feature here, another disturbance. This one will quickly work off towards the west, and by the weekend could start to see some development on that one. Of course, plenty of time to watch it, and we'll keep you posted. Thursday, Friday, normal rainfall chances, but as we head into Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, Pat, rain chances will tick up with that tropical wave potentially headed our way.
All right, Tony, thank you. Much anticipated fall camp gets underway for the UCF Knights tomorrow, which means media day today and noticeable absences from the proceedings. We'll explain next. And when losing can be a good thing. The enormous positives that these Knights have taken away from last January's Fiesta Bowl loss. We're right back.
WESH 2 Sports, sponsored by Mullinax Ford. Buy a new pickup in July and get a low upfront price, free maintenance for a year, and a bed liner for $1. Only at Mullinax. Now, WESH 2 Sports, sponsored by Mullinax Ford.
Media day for the UCF football team commenced this morning at Spectrum Stadium, but the elephants in the room weren't actually in the room. The three players now vying for the quarterback job, Brandon Wimbush, Quadri Jones, and Dylan Gabriel, were not part of the proceedings. And so are we. Off to a break now. More news after that.
WESH 2 crews are out and about working on news stories for the late newscasts.
Summer Knowles joins us now with a preview.
Well, guys, new tonight, a security alert for small plane owners and operators. The Department of Homeland Security warns people that small planes with modern systems could be hacked. We're talking about taking over things like compass data, engine readings, and even altitude. What's now being done to stop these potential attacks? That and much more coming up tonight on CW 18 at 10 and WESH News at 11. Guys, back to you.
Thanks. That's our report for tonight. NBC Nightly News with Lester Holt is next.
We'll see you again tonight at 11.